Hi, I'm Lisa. Before I found the Fitworks program, I had been struggling with SI joint pain, really terrible pain in my hip and in my back for about 6 or 7 years. It was bad enough that sometimes I was in a wheelchair, sometimes I couldn't even roll over in bed at night by myself. I couldn't dress myself. I would go to chiropractors, physical therapists, regular doctors, and I never had any sort of traumatic injury or anything, so it was really hard to figure out what the problem was. A few more years of just trying to work with chiropractors and things and just not really solving the problem. I started looking into what I could do to improve my posture since I felt like this was the real issue. For my first visit with Gary and Sherry, I told Gary that I had SI joint problems, but I didn't tell him about a lot of the other problems that I was having that the chiropractors had told me about after x-rays and MRI. I didn't tell him that I had a curve in my spine and a twist in my spine that had been brought on by my SI joint problems. Within just a few minutes of evaluating me, he was able to correctly identify not only my SI joint problems, but also these other problems that the chiropractors had taken tons of x-rays to figure out. He was able to just figure out with a few very simple evaluations that he did. So then we set up a program for me to work with him and to strengthen muscles that were weaker on one side of my body than the other. After I think maybe 4 or 5 hours of exercise doing that, I started noticing a huge difference. My hips were stabilizing. My back pain, which was especially terrible at night, was subsiding extremely, and I've been able to sleep so much better. I'm able to do the things that I need to now as a mother of 2. I am feeling better than I have felt in years. The Fitworks program has worked really well for me, and I'm really glad that I found them.
I'd been in pain for about 4 years. I had neck and back pain that I could not identify what was causing it, and I'd been to several different people trying to figure out how to fix it with no success. I'd been in a motorcycle accident. I had a leg injury on a motorcycle, and I wore a boot for about 6 months, so it could have been related to that, but I have no idea. I started off with my primary care doctor. He wasn't able to help me. I went to an orthopedic specialist, and he sent me to physical therapy. He identified a couple of the problems, but they gave me really no way to fix it. And physical therapy, they tried traction, they tried all different kinds of things, but none of it made any difference as far as alleviating the pain. I then went to a chiropractor. I went to massage therapy. I tried everything I could think of. So I was skeptical but desperate to get out of pain. There was one side of my back that was weaker. My right shoulder was 2 inches lower than my left. My head was 8 inches forward of where it should have been, and my hip was twisted. So I had all of those things going on. Signed up for 24 sessions. And I just recently completed that. I've achieved a ton of progress in that time. My head's come back 5 inches. My shoulders, within a half an inch of where it should be, has come up 1.5 inches. I've actually increased my height as I walk around day to day. I'm 2 3/4 inches taller than when I showed up to Gary, so he straightened out my spine as well. So I'm feeling great, and I would highly recommend Gary and Fitworks, especially before you got surgery.
Hi, my name is Cindy Brown, and I've had low back pain for 27 years. My SI joints were moving, I had a C-shaped spine pulling to the left, I had pain down my legs, and I've been going to the chiropractor for at least 20 years, 2 times a week or more. So my choice was surgery or live with pain forever. And I'm so happy I found Gary. In 24 one-hour sessions, pain is gone, my joints are better, I feel like a new person. My posture has changed dramatically to where everybody thinks I've lost so much weight. Every time they see me, "Have you lost more weight? Your butt is smaller." So that's also been wonderful. I am so happy I found Gary. He has changed my life.
What I came to him for was I had SI joint issues and I had my bulging discs, my L4 and 5. I could barely even function. On a daily basis, every time I walked, felt like I was pinching a nerve. So those are the 2 basic things I came for. Throughout our sessions, we discovered that I had a lot more. I don't know, I feel completely different. My SI joint is now stable, which was a huge, I think that was the biggest thing in my life that kept me from doing basic things like walking or even running. I am now fast walking, close to jogging, and I'm feeling like I'm getting back into my old routine of exercising, which is huge to me because I'm a huge health fanatic. Gary has given me my life back. I'm a registered nurse. I was in pain for approximately 13 years. I was in pain from lifting patients for several years, and I had 4 herniated discs in my neck. I had looked in several different routes of getting pain free. I had gone to several different doctors and had a lot of different x-rays and MRIs and CT scans. I had been put on a lot of different medications, different anti-inflammatory medications, pain medications, different nerve blocking injections, chiropractors, different physical therapists. I felt like nothing was working, nobody was helping me. I felt like I was getting the runaround from everybody and everything. I was in tears every single day of my life. I felt like it was affecting my job, even to the point where I had to go to part-time, where I was losing, obviously, wages. It was affecting where I was not participating in my personal life with my kids and my husband, going hiking. We were not going camping anymore. We were not doing the things that I enjoyed doing. I didn't know what to do, where to turn. And I finally found Gary and Fitworks, and I was very skeptical at first, to be honest with you. I thought, well, what do I have to lose? So I came to Fitworks, and within the very first session, I drove home with my husband, and I was so excited because that was the first time in years that I felt some relief without being drugged up, without being numb, without feeling so tired. I felt actual energy. I felt excited for this new thing that I had found. Within probably about 2 weeks, I was already starting to feel hope, and I was starting to feel like I could sleep better at night, get off of some of the medications I had been on for years. I was already starting to feel like I could complete my 12-hour shifts at work. Within a couple of months, I was definitely starting to notice a difference in the way my clothes even fit. I already felt like a new person. I no longer take pain medications. My life has improved significantly. I feel better. My family life is better. My whole life is better. This does work, and it will work for you too.
I started Fitworks on a Groupon because I'm like, I need to stretch. My back's hurting. I felt like I was getting knock-kneed, and the posture was horrible. So I did the 12 sessions. Like after like the first 2 sessions, already the back pain that I had stopped in my lower back. I found myself sitting up straighter. My knees weren't almost touching anymore. I didn't feel that knock-knee feeling. I felt amazing. They give you a book and they give you the tools so you can go home and make it happen for yourself. I can continue to keep my posture amazing. I can continue to better myself. I would recommend it to anyone for any amount of pain that you're feeling in your body. It's not normal, and you come to Fitworks and they will help you. It's amazing.
When I first came here, I was suffering from a very bent over back and so on and so forth, and I wanted to improve my posture. That is beginning to straighten itself out. I've gained some height. Other problem was I couldn't really bend over to actually pick up anything. I'd have to skillfully use my feet to grab things and toss it up. Now I can bend over and I can do that. The third problem, probably the most serious problem, was I couldn't walk any real distance without back pain. I could come out of the gym, and when I went across the parking lot, I could actually feel the pain if it was a long distance wherever my car was parked. Last week, I went to a graduation, and we had to walk back to the apartment because there was no buses going to the main event. And I had to walk 1.5 miles, which I did successfully. I could not have done that before. And standing in the kitchen was a tremendous problem. I used to have to put on a back brace, and now I can stand there for a couple hours making preparation of food for the week, for lunches, whatever, and I really don't use the back brace anymore. So those are the things I've gained. A little more flexibility, I do believe. I think I'm standing a little bit taller. I can now bend over, and I can now walk longer distances.
Gary and I were talking, and then we were doing the evaluation, and he's saying things about me he has no way of knowing. He is making comments that my coaches have said to me because I figure skate and I run. He is talking about problems that I've had for years that even predate the activity, but I didn't say any of that to him. It's not like he looked at a questionnaire. It's not like I came in with a doctor recommendation. I just came in for a Groupon stretch. So I was already impressed right there. My daughter is an athlete, so she's really strong, and I know that if your muscles are right, everything is right. I'm on my 11th session today, and I feel fantastic. I'm only working out once a week with them. I'm only doing once at home. I love that I know what to do here, what to do at home, and it works. I'm excited because I think for the first time in my life, I found an answer, and I'm walking out of here better than I walked in.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I came to Fitworks because I believe divine intervention sent me to Fitworks. I was having a lot of issues, body issues, due to a major illness that I've been fighting for quite a few years now. I just was searching for an answer. I had been to therapy, 3 different places. As most people, I'm sure I was very skeptical, and I thought, well, what have I got to lose? It's up to me. The changes in my body since I have come here are, for me, phenomenal. I think I look different, I feel different, so much stronger than I was before. I can do things that I just was struggling to do before. The changes in my life are probably what I appreciate the most with Gary and Sherry. I'm a horse lady. I do have a horse. I've had him for quite a few years now. It was to the point that I couldn't function to actually, it was very difficult to take care of him, not to mention even riding him. It was just difficult. But you know what? He's a part of my therapy, and I can do so much more with him now than I could before. I'm back to riding. I can ride, and I'm worked my way. I started with 10-15-minute intervals, and now I'm up to an hour and a half. So I recommend Gary and Sherry to anybody, even if you're not sure what they can do for you. You have nothing to lose by giving them a try. I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me. It's just been a wonderful experience, and I would say to anybody, please give them a shot. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain.
It was really more of a fine-tuning for me. I'd lost my weight, I've been doing really well on a workout schedule, but it was really much more of a posture. After they did their first assessment, and we looked and saw where I was out of alignment, which I actually really didn't think I was, but I had some issues, definitely a sciatic nerve issue. After we did the assessment and they were able to show me really where, I had some issues or challenges that I could work out, I then decided to go ahead and participate and go on the 4-pack. Looking at my after shot, oh my gosh, it really was very visible on how different. And not only did I didn't have to take a picture to see that, I was able to feel it, and notice the way that, my posture was. It's definitely worth your time and energy. You should come out and, say hello to Gary and Sherry, and really they will help you with your posture.
We first found out that Emily couldn't feel her foot actually only about a year ago. We started going to every doctor out there, and nobody could figure out what's going on. Finally, an acupuncturist recommended this place. How did your leg feel when we first came here?
I couldn't feel it. It just was something I used to walk around, and I couldn't even spread my toes.
When did you start feeling your foot for the first time?
Through the first couple sessions, I noticed that my body was feeling much better, and now I feel amazing, and I'm really happy that I started.
So now she feels her leg and her toes, and she can move them.
I'm a 73-year-old retired attorney. I spent an awful lot of my life hunched over a desk and paid the price for it because of the discomfort that I've had and the back issues and pain issues. My wife had a bad fall a couple of years ago and has had a lot of pain. And one day she came home and told me that she had talked to these people who had sold her this program that was going to make her better. Call me a cynic, but I'm a lawyer. I hear things like that, and the first thing I thought was, this is a scam. This is ridiculous. We've been taken. But over the course of the weeks, I saw the results that my wife had, and it was remarkable. So remarkable that I signed up myself, and the results that I've had have been remarkable. I feel terrific, and I attribute it to Fitworks.
Hi, my name is Ivy Fernandez, and I've been working with Fitworks for about a month. I came in because I've got ongoing shoulder problem, and also I have my left thigh that was falling asleep on me. And so I remember for years I would constantly go to doctors, chiropractors, and it would only work for a little while, but I'd be back again. With this system, I'm noticing that I don't have the muscle knots I used to have. I have noticed now that my hands aren't falling asleep at night. I've noticed that I can feel my leg. I'm sedentary most of the day as a bookkeeper, and that was my frustration. I'm also noticing I don't have to get up in the middle of the night and reposition or walk around and stretch because I'm so uncomfortable. Now I can sleep through the night. That's one thing that I really am thankful for. And I'm just very thankful. I thank God that I met Fitworks.
I had back pain on my lower left side and also in the middle of my back. Finished 12 sessions, and I can say without a doubt it's 100% improved.
I was having issues with my back, my shoulder. I had plantar fasciitis in my feet. Sherry taught me exercises to do to relieve that, and I can say now that I don't have that anymore. I don't have any pain when I walk, and now I'm standing straighter. My head's back further. I've lost some weight. That's thanks to them.
And the only thing I want to add is she can now whip my ass.
When I was a teenager, I had really bad posture. I had a swayed back. Because of that swayed back, I had a lot of trouble standing for long periods of time. Like going grocery shopping with my mom was a major problem. Going clothes shopping for school. Anything that took me standing for any period of time, I would have to sit down, or I remember getting down on the floor and stretching my back because I was in so much pain. And here's me, just a young teenager. Well, it just got worse. As time went on, I also found out I had a curve in my upper back. If I sat and drew pictures for a long period of time, the right side of my back, there would be a muscle back there that would spasm on me, create a lot of pain, with stabbing pain. And I just dealt with all those things that were going on. It didn't get any better. It went downhill from there, and I had years of problems with that muscle spasming on me so bad I was sent to the hospital several times with it. And in the meantime, I had 3 children, and my leg pain started up. I didn't understand it at the time. I was constantly having low back pain, but one leg would hurt, and then the other leg would hurt, and then this leg would hurt, and then that leg would hurt, and it was constantly one leg or the other was aching, a deep ache that went from my hip down into sometimes my knee, all the way down into my ankles other times, and that went on for about 10 years. So now you're probably looking at 20 years of pain. I started going to see doctors, trying to figure out what was going on. Nobody knew. They sent me around, and I had MRIs, which was a joke. It's ridiculous. I went in and had a stomach biopsy because I thought maybe I had a problem with the coating to my nerves or something. I don't know. So I wasn't getting enough B12, so my stomach lining wasn't absorbing it. I don't know what their reasoning was for that. They found out that I had stomach ulcers from all the pain medications they'd been giving me. I was sent to a neurologist who stuck needles in my legs and then did something like shocked me or something to see how much pain I could feel. Yeah. So I had a bunch of stupid stuff done to me. I started seeing chiropractors about that time. My insurance didn't pay for chiropractors, but I kind of felt like everything else was a joke that was happening that insurance was paying for. So my chiropractor quickly put me into a back brace and saw me twice a day for a week that first time to try to help me. I couldn't rotate, I couldn't do anything. Put me on bed rest, put my feet up on pillows, and I wasn't allowed to do anything for that whole week except go to see him. That helped a little bit it got me through. I ended up seeing like 2 or 3 other chiropractors throughout the next 10 years. And they just kind of helped me get along from a couple days to a couple days, and it was like I had to go back and get fixed again and take me out of pain for another day or two and then back at it again. Nobody could seem to get rid of it, and I ended up on Celebrex. I had Vicodin when I needed it, Flexeril when I needed it. I was on some joint supplements because my hips hurt so much and my lower back hurt. I was a mess. I got to the point where I had an inversion table, and when my sciatica would hit and I would hit the floor, I would army man crawl like I was in a trench downstairs to my inversion table, and I would haul myself up onto this inversion table as best I could and hang upside down to try to relieve the pain I was in. It was horrible. I actually got to the point where I thought, because the pain all settled in my left leg to the point where it ached so deep for so many years that I thought that I had bone cancer in that leg, and that one day somebody was going to catch it and it was either going to be too late and I was going to die from it, or they were going to have to cut off my leg to save my life. And I felt like either one of those was okay with me at that point because I was in so much pain. And he said, "Oh, I think I can help you." And I was shocked, and I was also excited because I had been wanting to have somebody help me. I mean, you're talking to a lady who worked 40 hours a week standing at her desk because it hurt to sit all day. I couldn't sit. And when I stood, I had to rock back and forth and take breaks and walk because standing too long hurt. So I was excited. I couldn't travel anymore. I couldn't go hiking. I couldn't do anything. I was just in pain all the time. So I was excited to hear that he could possibly help me. And he started working me out. Exercises nobody's ever shown me. Some of them were so subtle and on muscles I'd never heard of. Like, I never heard of a piriformis muscle. Come to find out, that was one of my big problems, is that I needed to strengthen that muscle, and that was part of the problem. Within probably 7 or 8 visits coming over here and working out with him, and I told him my legs are on fire like a hot poker. So he starts having me do a couple different exercises, and within 20 minutes I was completely out of pain and that burning sensation was gone. And from that day forward, I have been able to sit and go on trips in the car or go to church, or I can go hiking. It was like that was the big moment, noticing that there was a huge difference. It's like a completely different body that I'm in now. I don't take Celebrex anymore. I don't take Flexeril. I don't take Vicodin. I don't take anything for my joints at all anymore. It's amazing. I never would have thought that I could be fixed because I was broken for so many years, a couple of decades. Well, guess what? I don't have any hip problems. My hips are fine now. For the first time in my life, I've been pain-free